All right, y'all. Donald Trump is raging war against Chicago. Check this out.
Reports about a chilling and downright shocking escalation of ICE tactics against the residents of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes and zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
That's fucked up, y'all. They went into a whole apartment building and just raided the whole motherfucker for no real reason. They got no warrants, no nothing. They just took everybody out, the kids and everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, it don't matter if you was illegal or nothing. They just went on it and did that shit. That's fucked up. I mean, you just go in and without a warrant and just take everybody out in the middle of the fucking night where you sleep when your kids are asleep. Come on, y'all.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
They zip tied the kids together. ICE put out a statement saying they were pursuing Trinidad gang members.
Yeah, he did say fuck them damn kids. You know why? Because they now one of them, I guarantee now one of them was white. Now one of them. That's why they went in that damn building. As you seeing black people and probably Mexican people, they took them down so they can't be on camera. You know what I'm saying? Probably legal residents and everything, legal being here. They still took them to the ICE. You know, the only reason why the black people got away because they black. And that's going. I don't think how long that's gonna last. They talking about they doing every black man. They could say every black motherfucker is a drug dealer and come in their crib and take their shit and put them in detention or whatever they're gonna do.
But U.S. citizens living in the building say they were detained too. The cops told them that if they had any unrelated warrants, they wouldn't be going back home. 37 people were ultimately arrested after agents separated children from their parents on the street. And if you're looking at this and asking yourself, how is this legal? That is the right question to ask. And it has kind of an answer. And to understand it, you have to go back to Los Angeles this summer, where federal immigration agents started pushing the envelope on orders from the White House. They raided Home Depot parking lots and Walmart lots, and they grabbed people they saw. Near one Home Depot, masked agents with batons grabbed Narcisco Barranco, who has lived in the U.S. for more than 30 years and has 3 sons serving in the Marine Corps. Agents beat Barranco on the ground, dislocating his shoulder before detaining him. In Van Nuys, agents raided a car wash, remembering this, sending patrons and workers scrambling before the 79-year-old owner, who is a U.S. citizen named Rafi, tried to ask them what they were doing.
That is when Rafi was taken down by agents and eventually handcuffed. Rafi says he was injured in the process.
And they sit on me. This is my elbow about a week ago. And this is my arm.
Rafi says
he attacking old people. What is really going on? They don't give a fuck about nobody, do they? Nobody.
He and 5 others at his car wash were taken to a federal detention center downtown. We're still working to learn more about why they were detained.
And that man is not alone.
Look how you got my hand. You're twisting that. I'm American, bro. What hospital? Yo, these guys are literally based off of skin color. My homie was born here just because of the way he looks.
Agents kept stopping people they suspected of being undocumented immigrants for no reason other than they weren't obviously white. Like Brian Gavidia, the man you saw there, the 29-year-old American. He wasn't arrested, but he says agents went through his phone for 20 minutes and kept his real ID card. Now, these are obvious violations of people's core constitutional civil rights, their right to equal protection and the freedom from unlawful searches and seizures. And victims filed a class action lawsuit. And after an entire bench trial, a federal judge sided with those victims and ended the ICE sweeps. And in her ruling, she wrote, "It is illegal to conduct roving patrols which identify people based upon race alone, aggressively question them, and then detain them without a warrant, without their consent, and without reasonable suspicion that they are with status." Yes, it is. Yes, it is. An appeals court upheld her injunction against ICE. You have to stop doing this. And so the Trump administration took the issue to the Supreme Court. And lo and behold, last month, the court's 6-3 conservative majority voted to just let Trump and ICE continue for now, as the case works its way up, to use racial profiling in their immigration raids, halting the lower court's decision, saying, go ahead. Now, they gave no reasoning or explanation for their decision, silent, except Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who wrote a short concurring opinion saying there's absolutely no problem whatsoever with racially motivated stops by law enforcement. Quote, "If the officers learn the individual they stopped is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the U.S., they promptly let the individual go." Well,
Yeah, we already know that's a lie. That shit don't work like that. They see the motherfuckers are U.S. citizens, and they still put them in ICE detention. And they take them days, weeks, hours. But no, you not finna be just let it go. Your family gonna be worried about you. You gonna have to go through stress, you know what I'm saying? Maybe lose your job and all the rest of this shit because you're in detention. You know? Yeah. They try to ruin your fucking life.
welcome to the era of what critics call the Kavanaugh stop. Carte blanche for ICE to continue violent, warrantless raids and stops all over the country to undocumented immigrants, lawful residents, and American citizens alike. Like Leonardo Garcia Venegas. You see him there, being cuffed roughly by ICE agents on a construction site where he was working. Vargas showed the agents his real ID as proof of citizenship, and they told him he was lying. And it took hours to get him out of custody, so not exactly expeditious. And then, get this, 2 weeks later, ICE arrested him again at another work site. He's now suing the government. The consequence of all this is what we're seeing now in the dead of night in Chicago. Dozens of federal agents raiding an entire apartment building with kids in it just to see what they can find. It's the most egregious abuse of our basic rights as Americans I've seen in a long time, maybe my lifetime.
Now, y'all got to think about this, y'all. I want y'all to think about this. Is the whole problem that people ain't got nothing to do with ICE, you know what I'm saying? Black people, you know what I'm saying? White people. It might be white people in there too, you know what I'm saying? I think they are probably targeted minority groups. But just think about it. Even if you want to stand in a fucking apartment, if this was your fucking neighborhood and they just cut your whole your block down, your street down, and you know what I'm saying, they just started coming through your whole freaking street, checking all y'all shit for no damn reason. Putting y'all in handcuffs and twisting two swags and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And y'all American citizens. And they is doing this shit. A lot of them, this wasn't no apartment full of just Mexicans. These are American citizens they did this shit to.
And it comes 2 weeks after Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem posted a hype video of another violent ICE raid with helicopters and grenades, this time on a house in the Chicago suburbs. And guess what? 2 U.S. citizens were mistakenly arrested. You know, there's a reason the American founders put the right to be free from unlawful searches and seizures in the Bill of Rights from the start. Masked secret police profiling people and now targeting entire apartment buildings, making everyone prove they're not guilty of something, is the province of tyrants. It is the opposite of American. And I don't think Americans will stand for it, nor should they.
All right, y'all. We're going to leave it right there. They just coming into neighborhoods and just doing sweeps on the whole freaking neighborhood, man. Come on, that is ridiculous. We got to stand up for our rights because this shit is getting out of hand. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.